Well, now that we are the star of this show and seemingly every other show on TV, what the heck are we supposed to do?
Well, now it's hard for anyone to press claims that we are not famous. Thus, we can go on Myra's show. Frankly, it was a matter of time.
I was trying to remember if there were any like loose threads that we haven't tied up yet, and I honestly can't think of any.
Oh
Like,
wait, before we go in, should we make a casserole just in case?
That's not a bad idea, because we did bake a cake, but the fact that a casserole is an option, that's not a bad plan.
Yeah. Plus, I'm like thinking and looking at this lady, and I'm like, oh, she definitely looks like the type who'd be like, oh, I want a casserole or something like that.
Ta-da! You've successfully perverted the laws of God and man.
Oh boy, let's take it with us.
Good thinking about the casserole.
I love how you did at least let the line about perverting the laws of God and man play through there.
Regardless of how fast we made it, that will definitely always be true.
Yeah, because we definitely like fast forward through that to at least break the. Oh my! Yes.
Has he done that before?
I've never seen him do that. That's great. But yeah, if you're running through the universe at that fast of a speed, you've got to be at least breaking some kind of speed limit that God has put in place.
All right, we'll see how this goes. I am curious. The fact that you can get a photo of him as red is weird, and we haven't used that yet, so we'll just need to keep that in mind. It could be, you know, pointless.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. Before we go into the door, let's get that picture in red, then.
Hi, Hugh Bliss.
Hi, I'm Hugh Bliss.
I challenge you to change colors again.
Okay, pick a color. Any color.
Oh, what?
White's his regular skin.
Okay.
Red, Fred.
Ooh.
He just looks severely sunburned.
How about another picture, Hugh Bliss?
Of course, gather round. Bye.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Yes? Oh, you two again. Well, what is it? You've got the length of one commercial break to explain yourselves.
Can we come in?
Can we come in and see the show?
Can you? Don't you mean?
May we come in and see the show?
That's much better. No, we're at full capacity. The only people getting in now are famous people who are appearing on the show.
Can we be guests on your show?
May we appear as guests on your show?
I excel at talking about myself.
Are you famous?
Perhaps. In an internet petition, or there ought to be a law kind of way.
Not good enough. I'll need evidence of your explosive star power.
I blew up a public restroom last week.
I want to see a copy of your recording contract, for one thing.
Well, what if we...
Recording contract and a clip from your hit TV show. You're not anybody these days if you don't act and sing.
Recording contract, TV clip.
Piece of cake.
No cake. I'm on a diet. But I will naturally need evidence of the latest juicy scandal you've been involved in.
We have to be scandalized?
Of course! What kind of show do you
We have
think
all
this
three
is?
of those things.
Are you sure you want us to answer that?
Look, it's very simple. Show me a recording contract, a clip from your TV show, and some evidence of a scandal, and I'll squeeze you in.
Oh, is that all?
Okay. Well, here's our recording
We do have a
contract.
recording contract. Bin Bottom Records. Take a look. Now how about having us appear on your show?
Not so fast. To get on my stage, you'll also need a clip from your own TV show as well as evidence of a good scandal.
Fame is a distressingly exact mistress.
There you go, dear. Although I strongly disapprove. Having a mistress is an excellent start to a scandal. The public enjoys a good love triangle.
As it happens, we brought a clip of our wacky hit sitcom, Midtown Cowboys. We're the stars.
Your celebrity is becoming less and less marginal all the time.
Don't worry, Myra. We're still marginal at heart.
Yes, I suspected as much. But get yourselves involved in a newsworthy scandal, and you can be guests.
Actually, we graced the cover of the current edition of the Alien Love Triangle Times. How's that for a scandal? You'll have us on your show now, yes?
Oh, I suppose so. If only so I can talk about America's lamentably endless fascination with depravity.
Yay!
Naturally, I will expect you to be on your best behavior and agree with everything I say and answer every question I have and don't interrupt and keep your elbows off the table and use your indoor voice.
What about...
While you're on my show, you stay in your seats at all times. You do not interrupt me when I'm talking, and you treat the audience with the utmost respect, even if you become less sure with each passing year that they deserve it. Now, I'll call you on stage in a minute.
Gosh, Max. Celebrity is just a never-ending set of arbitrary goals one accomplishes to appease a dismissive and distracted, if not entirely absent, authority figure.
I don't know if I agree, Sam, but I've begun my decadent slide into a depraved personal hell just in case.
All of those rules are things that Max will never do.
Give her a hand, everyone! Bessie Bovine reading from her new book, The Heart Has Four Stomachs, Ruminations on a Life in Hollywood, out now in all major bookstores. This microphone is starting to spark from overuse, but that doesn't mean we're ready to pack it in. We've got the stars of the not-quite-canceled
cup of
sitcom
water and
Midtown
sparking microphone.
Cowboys, who also happen to be the winner and judge of TV's Embarrassing Idol. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam and Mac.
I don't like the look of that. It's like
Hold the
whatever the
hayride,
heck
little
that
pal.
thing is.
That bear seems more than slightly hinky, in the mesmeric sense of the term.
Shadier than a fat man's ankles.
Let's take it down like ducks in a gutter.
Hold it! My guests sit at that end.
But that bear has got you.
Sit.
We'll just sit where you want us to, ma'am.
Lovely.
What gives, Sam? Why can't we just grab the bear?
It would appear that the laws of physics are different on the set of a talk show, little buddy. We're gonna have to play along.
Sam and Max, you're talented, hot news celebrities who've taken the entertainment world by storm. So naturally, we all want to hear everything about your involvement in the scandal detailed in the Alien Love Triangle Times.
All right.
Okay. Talk about Midtown Cowboys.
We don't want to talk about the bear immediately because then that's
Right.
gonna set off alarms.
Right.
This is. How about we misdirect just a little bit? Talk about Midtown Cowboys.
I'd rather talk about our smash hit sitcom, Midtown Cowboys.
Okay, let's talk. You two have become the new breakout stars of a flaccid, dissolute sitcom in its final days. How wonderful for you.
Thanks, we brought a clip.
You certainly did. I had a chance to watch it, and I refused to show it to my audience. It has a shocking joke involving a cow pie. It's a sad commentary on today's culture when the cow pie, once a staple of the American diet, blah, 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 yak, 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 yak.
I see why Myra only lets big stars on her show.
They're easier targets?
If you're big enough, there still might be something left when she's finished.
Blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
yak,
okay.
yak,
Okay,
yak,
all
yak,
right,
blah,
we've
blah,
got
blah,
water
blah,
glass,
yakety,
microphone.
yakety, yakety, yakety,
So
yakety,
we've got her
yakety,
talking.
yakety,
Now we
blah,
need to
blah,
figure
blah,
out
blah,
what we can do here.
blah, blah,
Wait, hold
blah,
on.
blah,
Can
yak,
you
yak,
mouse
yak,
over the
bloody,
book
bloody, bloody,
on
bloody,
the...
yakety, 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 yakety,
Okay,
yakety,
nothing
yakety,
that can be...
blah, blah, blah.
What
Blah,
on
blah.
earth? Okay.
Blah,
Sorry,
blah,
I just
blah,
saw her
blah,
like
yak,
flapping
yak,
around
yak,
like a
bloody,
beached
bloody,
whale,
bloody,
and I'm
bloody,
like, what on
yakety, yakety,
earth?
yakety, 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 yak,
Okay,
blah,
so
blah,
what we
blah.
got on in terms of
Blah,
our
blah, blah, blah,
inventory.
yak, 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 bloody, 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 yakety, 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 yakety,
Okay, so we
yak,
got
blah,
the
blah,
picture of
blah,
Hubris, we've
blah.
got the voice changer, we've
Blah,
got
blah,
the
blah,
tear
blah,
grenade
yak,
gas
yak, yak,
launcher.
yak, bloody, 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 yakety, 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 yakety,
I
yakety,
don't
yakety,
know
yakety,
if we can
yak,
actually
blah,
use the
blah,
tear
blah.
grenade
Blah, blah.
tear grenade launcher.
Blah, 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 yak, 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 yak,
Maybe try and break up the conversation with the casserole.
We brought you something to eat.
Good gracious, no! Never on camera!
Okay. Can we ask for water?
No. Let's at least try to do the things, what is it? The, farthest away from Myra, and then work up from there.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh, hey, we can interact with Max. Okay.
Got a second, little buddy?
Now that we're big stars, I'd normally ask that your people call my people to set up a meeting. But since we're old friends...
Okay. Oh, I think this is just tips like it usually is. Usually it's good. We get tips from we can get tips from Max all the time, but we just like, no, we're just gonna hard nose it and just do everything. Never mind on that.
Never mind.
Then I shall return to the warm womb of manufactured celebrity.
Launcher?
Can't we sit over there?
You'll sit where you are and like it, mister.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Microphone, Myra, and water, and evil teddy bear.
Let's at least, well, we could break the microphone. Maybe with the voice changer?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Alright, and try the microphone with that?
I'm not touching that thing. I'd probably get shocked.
So if we can get her to touch the microphone. Water glass or evil teddy bear?
Water glass,
May
probably.
I have a drink of water?
Are you the host of this talk show?
No.
Then no.
Okay, so now the thing I'm noticing is that that water glass is precariously sat upon that desk and is rather close to Myra. So if we can figure out a way to maybe spill it, then that causes some start of a reaction.
Unwise in front of a live studio audience.
Doggone it. That is right. We'd have live recording footage of us doing stuff. So, okay, so not... Alright, let's interact with the evil teddy bear to see what we're dealing with here.
Humanity's not safe while that mysterious little hypno bear is on the loose.
Are we part of humanity, Sam?
Not technically, but we're in danger too.
Now, if there's one thing that I've learned after the embarrassing idol thing is that we missed just talking to the judges in order to advance the dialogue that would give us more information. So do we want to just talk to Myra, see what happens?
Yeah, let's look through all the things that we can here.
Ah, yes. Where were we? I think we were discussing the alien love triangle times and that nasty, scandalous affair of yours.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Garrett's
Flattery.
talking about herself.
Let's talk about you, Myra.
Me? What could anyone want to know about me?
Maybe they'd like to know how honored you are to have me, Max, brilliant actor and acerbic wit, on your show.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather talk about your alien love triangle shenanigans?
You know, I probably should have expected that. Max is about as much of a attention-aholic as Myra is. Yeah, let's go through the things here with Max first, and then switch over to Sam.
I'd like to talk about me.
I prefer my guests' naked egos to be just a little less naked, dear.
Oh, absolutely, Myra. That's exactly what Reese Butterfingers told me when sniping river rats at Cannes. She thought I had the cool-eyed aim of a professional.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather talk about your alien love triangle shenanigans?
You know, I
I'd
thought
like to
there
talk
was.
about myself.
And a project you're working on, perhaps?
You said it, Myra. I am an ongoing project, like a golden calf or a graven image. I'll only rest once people are sacrificing their firstborn unto me. Also, I'd like to direct.
Fame went to your head quickly, dear.
It's a short trip.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather talk about your alien love triangle shenanigans?
I love
Sorry,
that
go ahead.
I love that punchline of just like, fame really went to your head. It's a short trip.
What were you gonna say?
I can't remember anymore. That was a really good joke. Okay, so we've talked about himself. We've tried to talk about Myra, and we've talked about. Wait, we haven't talked about our pal Sam.
I'd like to mention my pal Sam and something that happened the other day.
Anecdotes about other celebrities, even ones as dubious as you two, are always welcome.
Well, I was battering this purse snatcher with a broken parking meter and screaming, "Die! Why won't you die?" And Sam said, "You crack me up, little buddy."
The point being,
I crack Sam up.
are you sure you wouldn't rather talk about your alien love triangle shenanigans?
Okay, let's switch it over to Sam. Rather relived my embarrassing out of glory. Yeah, let's do that one.
I'd like to sing a song from my upcoming album, Feathers and Furious Scribbling.
I'm almost certain the audience might probably enjoy that.
Howling at that drippy old hunk of moon. She's at brunch today with some baboon. And so I wrote this extremely catchy tune.
Thank you, Sam, for putting the num back in musical number.
What a wonderful way to remind our audience that you don't have to be talented to be famous. And a perfect segue into my latest tirade about the lamentable state of modern popular music. I mean, blah, 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 yak, 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 bloody, 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 yakety, yak, yak, yak.
So, do you think that's the whole... Oh,
But
we have a
we
banjo now.
banjo now.
So do you think the point is to find topics that will get her to lock up into this so we can interact with stuff?
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of way. Try doing the voice modulator first and then hitting the banjo.
Are we trying to blow up the mic?
Testing. 1, 2,
Maybe.
3. I'd like to sing, if I may.
Is that wise?
Howling at that drippy old hunk of moon.
Oh, there we go.
Careful there,
Oh!
Tiger. That was wonderful. I'm so moved I almost don't have a long hectoring screed in me. Oh no, wait. There it is. Thank goodness. Self-referential songwriting is a dangerously blah 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 yak 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 yak.
Haha.
Okay. So now we gotta get that microphone over to the puddle. It'll shock the bear.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now
Do
to
we want to
figure
talk
out-
about the love triangle article to see if it unlocks another item that we could use?
Most likely. There's also going to be a way to get over to the other chair of some sort, or maybe it's just a red herring.
Hmm. Do we go back to the dialogue tree?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Where were we? I think we were discussing the alien love triangle times and that nasty, scandalous affair of yours.
Let me just make sure.
Yeah.
There's something you should know about that picture in the Times.
It's a
I'm
fraud.
not sure I want to know anything more. Maybe you big Hollywood types thinks it's funny to flaunt your polyplanetary pickups, but the rest of us find alien love triangles, frankly, disgusting.
But the photo is not quite what it seems.
How so?
Okay. There was someone else involved. There's no.
Someone else involved could get someone else on the show?
Oh yeah, let's say it was Hugh Bliss, and then he'll show up and be like, "Hello."
It's not a picture of an alien at all. That's Hugh Bliss.
Hugh Bliss? The highly respected founder of Prismatology? Don't be ridiculous. Why, I've had him on my show before, and he certainly isn't green. What are you really hiding?
How much I'm scared of being buffeted by another gust of Hurricane Myra?
Flattery will get you nowhere, mister. I don't know about you, audience, but as a girl, I was taught that flattery was the worst possible way to blah, 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 yak, yak, yak. Blah, 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 blah,
Okay,
yak, 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 bloody, 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 yakety, 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 yakety,
What
yak,
else do we
blah,
have in
blah,
our
blah.
inventory again?
I mean, I think we could still say someone else was involved, just not Cubeless.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Where were we? I think we were discussing the alien love triangle times and that nasty, scandalous affair of yours.
There's more you should know about that picture in the Times.
What's that?
It doesn't tell the whole story. There's someone else involved. Someone the picture doesn't show.
How shocking. Who?
The options.
Who is Philo Pennyworth?
I'm not
Okay.
positive. I think that might be who the oh gosh, the store owner whose name is escaping me. Bosco.
Bosco.
I think that was his disguise for this chapter.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so there's soda poppers. There's Bessie. Maybe try one of the soda poppers?
One of the soda poppers.
Oh, my. Which one?
Oh, this is interesting.
Okay, so out of the two, we've got Peepers, we've got Specs, we've got Whizzer. Maybe Specs because now he respects us more than his own brother.
Specs.
Oh, my goodness. Well, audience, we just happen to have him backstage. Specs, come on out here.
Oh,
What are they
Yes.
thing about? The thing and instead of my brother. And to be honest, I regret it.
You mean you wish you'd your own brother?
Yes, I do. At least he doesn't.
I am appalled. What kind of... Why, in all my years, I never blah, 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 yak, yak, yak. Blah, blah, blah,
Well, that didn't
blah,
last
yak,
very
yak,
long.
Okay,
yak, bloody, bloody, yakety, yakety,
But
yakety,
she did
yakety,
move the
yakety,
microphone.
yakety, yak, blah,
Oh,
blah,
but there's
blah.
actually a puddle option now.
Blah, blah, blah,
Okay, let's
blah,
look at the
yak,
puddle,
yak,
see what's
yak,
I
going
think
on.
it's getting the bear wet, but apart from that, nothing's happening.
Okay, let's try another one of the soda poppers instead.
Ah, yes.
Let's say
more.
What's that?
There are still
Incredible.
one of the soda poppers.
Oh, my. Which one?
Let's use the one that isn't horribly seasick at the moment. Let's try Peepers.
Peepers.
Really? Well, by amazing coincidence, we happen to have Peepers backstage right now. Let's bring him out.
It's not true, Wall. All that happened was they snatched my lyrics.
I can't even imagine what horrifying act that's slang for. How are any of us supposed to listen to Burt Bacharach being interviewed without blah, 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 yak, yak, yak? Blah, blah, blah.
I'd like to
Well,
talk about
one
that
more option.
charming yet mildly
Whoops,
insidious-looking
whoops.
bear on your desk. Can I see it?
I don't know, Sam. Can you?
May I see it, please?
No, you may not. And if I may say so, if there's one thing that grills my chicken, it's how our culture is in a state of modal decay. Can is not the same as may. Should is not the same as blah, blah, blah. Yak, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue.
Hopefully she'll be off on her tri-state nagging spree for a while.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, let's try that
Can
again.
you just skip a little bit more carefully.
There's
At
What's
least
that?
we know that doesn't work.
It doesn't.
You're joking.
One of the soda.
Oh, my.
Alright,
Whizzer.
let's...
Maybe the water will make
Well,
him have to go to the
that's
bathroom. I
certainly
don't know.
an interesting accusation. We happen to have Whizzer waiting backstage. Let's bring him out.
I have no what they all that happened was they gave me a ketchup cake.
Oh my, I have no idea what that even means. And it may be the single filthiest thing anyone said in my presence.
I might be able to top it if you give me a chance.
I prefer that you didn't. In fact, our country's shocking fascination with the double entendre is wrecking blah blah blah, yak yak
Okay,
yak.
so the soda poppers were just a funny option.
Ah, yes.
There's
What's that?
there
That's.
are
Oh, okay. Try Bessie the cow.
Bessie Bovine, our co-star on Midtown Cowboys.
Oh my! Audience, shall we bring her back out again?
Aha!
Ha!
At the
Take
risk of
that!
making the obvious comment, that was shocking. Is she breathing?
A little, but the creepy teddy bear is toast.
Nuts. I wanted to ask it a few questions, and maybe use it to hypnotize Katie Couric.
Another glorious dream bangs its chin on the dirty pavement. On the bright side, the audience is free to go home.
Oh, I was just getting warmed up. Do you think Myra will have us back on the show again soon?
Speaking of unlikely, did you notice we just had 2 cases in a row involving hypnotic mind control?
Complete coincidence?
Yes, I think so. The cogs of the universe synchronize in ways we're not meant to see.
Speaking of things we're not meant to see, there's a new restaurant at the zoo where you can eat what they feed the animals.
Empty popcorn cartons and cigarette butts?
And processed bread logs loaded with tranquilizers and antidepressants.
Bread logs make me logy. Let's head back to the cooking show set and see if we can figure out how to make fried pork rinds.
Okay, but I get the feet.
Well, another case under the belt.
That was really fun. I loved like hopping between the sets and figuring out how to like beat each show almost. That was really clever.
Oh yeah, as soon as I was like, oh, there's like a talk show host and such, like we're probably not gonna be able to get on unless we're famous. So I was immediately like, hey, Max, we need to actually do all the TV shows and do all the stuff. Otherwise, we are not gonna get on. And I'm so glad that it worked.
Yeah, we got in there and we succeeded pretty fast comparatively to some of the other attempts that we've had of like figuring out a certain room. Like we got in there with everything that we needed. It was procedural, it was tactical.
Yeah, I think the only time we had like a potential doorknob moment, like in the last chapter, was specifically with the cake. But then again, we remembered like, oh, there's ketchup back at Bosco's, and then actually got that.
I can't take credit for that one. That was all you, my guy.
Sometimes I remember things, sometimes I don't.
Well, this chapter is really good, and I am looking forward to when we start into the next chapter.
What do you think? Hypnotism, a mind-boggling universal coincidence, or just good game design and continuous story?
Yes.